It's another Conversations with Deuce and Mo. Super excited about this.
Me too.
We got the B-52 bomber in the building. A two-time All-Star. Brad Miller. What's up, Brad?
What's up? How's it going?
So good. So glad that you're here.
Glad you guys make it.
Dude, can we just say this? We were scheduled to start recording this at 1.
At 1.
Brad shows up at like
12:30 we here?
10:30 in the morning,
12:40.
probably.
Oh, gosh.
What time?
Only 12:40.
That's crazy.
Wait, question. Were you always like someone that was on time? I'm a very on-time person.
It was always a battle. Me and Vladdy. If practice started at 10:30, he would get there at 10:29. Like we'd have it down to the minute, enough time to hit park and get in. But we were never late.
never early.
But never late.
Wow.
But never late.
Yeah.
But so have things changed now and you're in as you get older and wiser?
Well, I mean, they slow down, but obviously helping at Sac State's been good to get back to get back on time again of all these freedom years, call it, of not necessarily having to be anywhere exact time, but Sac State's been good to get back to that program.
Dude, we got to talk about the Sac State stuff, your journey. First things first, when did you first fall in love with the game of basketball? Was it like young age?
As soon as I could remember being born, basically being from Indiana.
That's like a requirement in Indiana.
Yeah, I mean, I had a 7-foot uncle that played at Oklahoma, a 6'11" uncle that played at West Virginia, and a 6'9" that played at Kentucky. So it was kind of in the DNA of when you're going to grow at some point. My mom was 6'3", my sister was 6'4" as a freshman. So, yeah, I was 5'11" as a freshman. She's 6'4". My mom's like, he's going to grow bigger. You better quit picking on him, kind of deal. And then I just pretty much sprung up a foot in high school then. Wait,
did your whole family play basketball too?
Yeah.
Wow. Mom, dad, everyone?
Well, Mom didn't. She was old enough to where they didn't quite have true women's basketball at high school and stuff, back there. And they were from a real small town, Garrett, real tiny. I'm the big city of 12,000. They were from 1,000. Whoa. Is where they grew up. And, they had a Chuck Davis that was 7 foot. So in high school, they had 2 7-footers of 6'11". This is in the 60s.
What's in the water down there, dude?
Yeah, I know. It's a small town of 1,000, and they're popping out like footers like crazy.
So it's one thing. Were you always good at basketball? Or did you take off?
I always thought I was and knew it was better. My mom had from a basketball camp in middle school. It was this Tri-State University, which is up not far from where I'm from. And I remember I go there and I won everything you could possibly win, 1-on-1, 3-on-3, 5-on-5, free throw, and all this. I go, Mom, I need to go somewhere better. This is just 2 years in a row. It's just total domination. But my mom framed up a little tray for me, a coffee table tray thing. It had a card on there that talked about the evaluation of me, and the guy gave me a 2 out of 5 for passing. Ooh. So we kind of look back on that one all the time. So I'm a 4 or 5 on everything, but you thought my passing was a 2. And it's this is obviously some college kid that plays on Tri-State back in the day that filled out. I'm like, well, yeah.
Ooh. So
I think he missed the predictions on being a 2 out of 5 passer.
I would say so.
I was going to say. And even at that time, you knew you were.
Because I was tiny, so I was ball handler at that point. Wasn't the big guy, So, I played guard and / did all that stuff till I grew. So that's what really helped me. I know once I did grow, I had kept the same skills and stuff that I learned being the little guy.
That's so important. I love when that happens for people too, getting the skill set of a guard, but obviously growing into a big human. When did you know that you're all right, I'm good enough to be in the NBA?
I'd say probably really after my freshman year.
Okay.
Going in, I played USA basketball against a bunch of guys that all went and got drafted, and I was judging okay, I did this against this guy. I just need to be stronger. That's kind of all I felt skill-wise. I felt like I was going to be there, and I felt like I probably should have left after my junior year because you stay 4 years back then, and they're like, "Ooh, you're peaked out."
Yeah.
Crap, that was 18 points in the paint. I wasn't, a game got to be totally different. But Zach Edey, I remember he said it a couple of years ago, he's Purdue does what they need me to do. I can do more. and he went out and hit his only 3 in college that night against IU. Like, and then he shot like 40% as a rookie from 3. So, you know, I always try to do that comparison to scouts on I'm like, dude, I see he's got more, but when you're at Purdue, you're the big guy. Coach Katie is the same as me. You get your 7-foot butt down in the paint, and we got the guards to do the rest, and, you know, it's all about a team. You know, a team
That's
game
cool.
there. There's no individual at Purdue.
Yeah.
It's all about winning as a one team, one unit.
You're one of the rarities too that goes undrafted and then turns into a 2-time All-Star. Were you surprised you didn't get drafted? Like, what happened? Like
Casey Shaw. No one ever heard that name. That's who Larry Brown told me my agent was picking me like a few picks in the 2nd round or something, and they picked a guy named Casey Shaw. Never heard of him. I remember I was in Ohio, and a guy's like, I'm a huge Toledo University basketball fan and everything, and got talking about NBA. I'm like, well, you had a guy from Toledo got drafted instead of me. He's like, who? I'm like, Casey Shaw. He's like, I never heard of that guy. Like, and he'd just been telling me he was like a Toledo basketball fanatic and knew all the history. And I was like, you got a guy drafted. He's like, huh?
Wait, so what did that do for your mentality then?
Oh, it pissed me off.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I quit watching, went out right to my friend's house. Next day I was going down to Purdue to just get my stuff because the lockout was starting in like 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you weren't going to be able to communicate or talk or anything. And pagers blowing up my agent, like, where you want to go? I'm like, who didn't have an effing 2nd round pick and all this? And who doesn't have any big guys? And, you know, kind of set up, go down to Charlotte, worked out, and, you know, kind of got a verbal deal. Hey, we'll invite you back. But, I mean, it worked out, like I say, the best. I got to play on the World Championship that was set up for NBA players because July 3rd, I get a call, like, can you be in Chicago in 2 days? I'm like, World Championship, USA basketball? Like, yep. So Rudy T was the coach still. So, I mean, we had the New York Knicks playing, which now I know how nice it was back then. And stayed at Monte Carlo, like, you know, listen to Boy George, you know, off the deck for like 3 days of practice and games down there. Like, all right. So it worked out the best to do that, and I had the choice of where I wanted to go overseas. Went to Italy where I could get out of my contract in case it didn't work in the NBA. I was still going to have my FIBA rights. It was less money than what I was getting offered in Spain, but I had to stay, and I was like, hey, I want to play in the NBA. My goal wasn't to play overseas. So it kept me in shape, though, and I said I came in training camp, the vets were like, gassed, and I'm like,
you're ready to go?
Yeah, oh, yeah. I was in game basketball shape, too. So, like I say, everything, you know, it didn't start right, but, you know, obviously was fine with 14 years later of the results and the motivation.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like it just lit a fire under you. You weren't like, oh, I'm done with this, or like sad. You were just like, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, guys that got picked, like, yeah, there's a lot of personal, I'm going to bust his ass, you know, like tonight, like, oh, you got picked by them? Like, pfft, you're trash, you know, just had this confidence. And, you know, like my rookie year, the last game the vets didn't play, and I had 32 and 16. I'm like, okay, it's on now. You know, like that confidence level of seeing what I achieved my rookie year compared to these guys who were above me and their teams and everything. Just the confidence, you know, once I got to make a bucket that wasn't blocked by Alonzo Mourning, I was like, I'm good.
Yeah. Where'd that confidence come from, though?
Like I said, I played against these guys, and, you know, the game of basketball has always been easy to me. And, like, NBA was like, they think I was a big guy. Well, I'd get points just outrunning them. You know, that wasn't on the scouting report, but I'd just run and get a layup. Like, we had Ricky Davis, Baron Davis, Eddie Robinson. My second year, us four would just, like, get the ball, and one vet, like Chucky Brown or Derek Coleman, try to rebound, and 4 of us just ran. Wow. And it was like that was a skill set, like just outrun these guys and then start getting to shoot jumpers finally. They're like, yeah, you can shoot. I'm like, oh, we're not at Purdue.
Yeah.
So
I can actually show you what I can do.
I shoot a 15-footer that game, then like a 17-footer, and then, you know, just kind of kept progressing. And, you know, I mean, I could always shoot. I mean, I would shoot against Chuck Person my rookie year, and I didn't lose much money, and that was, you know, the rifleman I went thought. So
I guess, so what I'm caught up on right now is like, it's one thing to be confident, but then like there are moments in life where your confidence can take a hit. Like you don't get drafted. And it didn't sound like you ever had self-doubt. Like you were just like, no, I know.
Very,
You know what I
very
mean?
no, and not only that though. Like I was gonna say, like very happy. Like you seem like you always had like a very optimistic point of view, or like you just knew that you were going to get somewhere.
I mean, I just knew I was going to outwork people and sacrifice certain things
Yes.
that I knew people would be doing that got drafted. I'm like, all right, I got my own things I do, but I ain't doing certain things, or I know what I'll have to miss out on that thing to have whatever that thing could be, to go work out or go somewhere to do something, basketball related. And just, I mean, you give up a lot to have that focus, be number one. And that's, when you retire, you're like, man, you put this number one for, 18 years straight of college and 14. It's like, my friends was like, how do you do it? Travel, this. I'm like, that's part of it. You have to accept it. You have to embrace it, because the ride's not going to last forever. And when you're done, it's done. So, it's a lot of sacrifice to stay going that long, for sure.
So when you're in the league, it sounded like that final game of your rookie year was pretty impactful too. Like, yeah, I could do this. When you got to the league, were like, oh, I belong here too? Like you just knew?
No,
or was it?
When I was a morning block, like my first 4 or 5 shots in the league, and I was like, you're only playing me against Miami. Like, dude, this dude's a grown ass man. Like,
Dude,
I mean, I'm trying these Purdue post move up and under, and he jumps, and then I flick it this way, and he second jumps and beats it up. And I remember I go, can't you just let a rookie get his first bucket? And he's like, man, F good. Like super deep, like swelled up. I'm like,
He's
I'm like
not playing.
I'm at the free throw line. He's about to block me out. And I'm like, oh, shit.
yeah.
So then we finally played the Bulls, and I got buckets. I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
There's some talented bigs when you played,
They were
man.
just strong, too. I mean, that's Patrick Ewing was around, the Dream still.
Hakeem.
Well,
Yeah.
who was like the toughest
Shaq.
matchup? Well,
I mean, Lonzo Mourning was. That dude was
Okay.
pure roid rage muscle. Like,
yeah,
whew.
yeah.
Yeah, for me.
Packed the crap out of you a few
That was
times.
bad. Yeah, that was a tough one to go against for sure, to start my first NBA game. Like, all right, you got Alonzo.
What about Shaq?
I mean, Shaq was obviously tough. Obviously, my third year with the Bulls when he swung at me. So,
Oh my God.
so yeah,
Seeing
that was
clip so many times.
that's the number one YouTube hit of mine.
Is
the
it?
number one
Yeah.
YouTube.
Brad,
I've gone viral.
if he connects,
I know I'd own some big chicken, some Reebok. I mean, my agent would be like, he'll take a percentage of every company
because
of yours.
your back was turned when he took the swing,
Oh, yeah.
right?
I was scraping my ear because it was Oakley hit him actually, but we
And
were
he
playing
swung.
hack-a-shack. Yeah, I mean, I told his son about like a free throw, he can't hit it, but yeah, he kind of stuttered step, and I mean, I just barely. I'm like rubbing my head from Oakley's elbow hit me that hit shot. I'm like, gosh dang it, Oak, and I just barely turned, and it was like this big breeze, like right on the tip of my ear, and by the time I turned like this, I was underneath the whole pile. Shaq had a jersey. The whole team's on top of me. Ron Artest and
Oh my goodness.
Oakley got a hold of Shaq. Those two are holding him back, and it was just like, whoop, escalated really quick.
Yeah.
Been around some crazy little fights there.
Oh yeah. I guess the Malice too. You were there for that,
Yeah,
right?
I was here.
Oh wait. Oh, you're right. That was 03,
Yeah.
04. You're right. That was
Yeah, we
after.
had a
Yeah,
home
you weren't
game.
there for that.
Yeah, I was
You
sitting
played with Ron there, but
Sitting
you
in
were.
the train room watching.
Yeah.
Like, oh crap!
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
wild. Oh my. Well, I'm glad it didn't connect. I'm
Yeah.
glad you're okay. Even though, like
I
you
don't think
said,
he'd be here today.
Yeah, well,
No, that's what I said. I'd be liking smoothies probably.
Man.
with your NBA journey, obviously being in Chicago and then going to your home state, Indiana, and then was it a sign and trade to
Yeah.
Sacramento?
Yeah.
Was it hard leaving your hometown, home state?
Yeah, because especially like I got traded there, got made the All-Star team, me and Jo and myself, and then obviously had Reggie, but they had signed Al Harrington, Jonathan Bender, Jeff Foster, Ron Artest, and someone else the first summer, and then comes up to me, it's Jermaine, Reggie, and me at the same time, and it's Pacers have never gone over the tax threshold ever. Like this just came up, last year with them, and Miles
Turner.
with his contract,
Yeah.
same thing. But yeah, I got gave me a little pitch of July 1st. I'm like, all right, waiting for an offer, and just never heard anything. So it was pretty hard. Like my agent got mad because I was having a hard time accepting. Like, I was talking with the Utah GM at the time and kind of broke down. Like, dude, I'm just realizing I'm leaving Indiana. I was like, dang, like,
Yeah.
I didn't think. I'm like, cool. I'm looking at the upgrade house on the golf course across from where I had my first house in Indy. Like, you know, I mean, I had 12 tickets every weekend, 8 during the week. Like, it was like crazy for me, like people coming down to watch games. But yeah, it was difficult. Then I thought it was going to be Denver, and like the 4th day, finally, I said yes to Denver twice because I had some buddies from high school and college out there. I'm like,
Yeah.
you can see me in Denver, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, now, like, all
I was
right,
like,
Denver.
you give Denver vibes.
Yeah, I could give Denver vibes pretty well, but you know, then Sac came and it's just the team alone. I was like, dude, and I'm like, Sacramento. Like I said, I've gone from airport to the hotel, the Arden Mall once or twice, you know, in 5 years so far. I don't, you know, I did a workout once, and I was like, yeah, you know, you don't know nothing honestly about this town, and until I got out here and went pig hunting the first year and realized how country it was, I was like, yeah, I think this is a good place for me.
Pig hunting.
Oh yeah.
Was there? I mean, you joined a team that like
Oh yeah.
had championship expectations. I mean, they're coming off some really, really good run, and you're coming in and joining it. Like they made an investment. You think about that trade going back. It's like, man, that was a 3-team deal. Hito went to San Antonio in a deal. You know, he was a good player. It didn't work out for him in San Antonio. He goes to Orlando after,
Worked
and then
out in Orlando for him.
Yeah, he was great there.
Then
and then Scott Pollard ends up going to Indiana. You come in here, but you join a team that's like pretty connected. Like, was there any nervousness going into the situation like that, or was it more like, oh, I can't wait to play with these guys?
More, I couldn't wait. Like I had, it's like I'd seen this style and had been playing. I was always guarding Vlade, so I knew how Vlade played the game out here and everything. But I remember that first practice, we're just running corner elbow, and literally it's like I'm plugged in there, starting at the 4 with got Doug, Mike, Paige, Vlade out there, and it's just like, man, it was like 2 plays, and I'm like, and like, oh, dude, like Vlade threw a behind the back pass. I'm like, we get to do that as big guys out here? They're like, yeah, you get to handle the ball all the time for real. I'm like, it was just like, it was so pleasant. Like, it was like the most peaceful poetry offense to be around them because they were so good at it. And with my IQ, and that's the first time I got to truly show this other side of who I was as a full player. I was always just a big center till I got out here and was able to, play with the ball, do everything instead of just pick and roll and run the floor. Like, it was all part of it. So it was like, the best basketball experience from what I had my whole life. It was like, man, why couldn't I have been in this system? Like, from the start, like as a rookie, it would have been like, oh my goodness.
Well, you talked about that, like that guy gave you a grade of a 2 out of 5 on the passing, and then even looking at your assist numbers throughout your career, and it like jumps dramatically in Sacramento, and be like, he could pass. It's like, yeah, he just wasn't able to show that skill all the time, and
it wasn't the system. It's like,
but situations matter.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And just you talking about the poetry as someone, like, we're both born and raised in Sacramento, and like I was obsessed with those early 2000s Kings teams because like the style of play was so fun. And it was
art
in an era. I mean, you came in a post Jordan that after the lockout 98, 99, where it's like everyone's scoring like 90 points.
Oh yeah, the Pistons and all that.
Oh,
yeah.
So it was gross. But Sacramento was, Jay, at first it was Jay Will, and then eventually Bibby. But like, to me, the way you guys played offense, it was just it would work in today's game, right? Especially now with all the spacing and stuff. But it was so beautiful and connected. Why do you think it was so connected in that way?
It's just everyone bought in. I mean, that old guy Vlade, really was a chemistry builder. They talk about X's and O's and stats, but what he did it was unmeasurable, like, and I'd only got 1 year of the taste, but it was like, this guy holds everyone accountable to play together, and, he was one of those Europeans that came over, and we know the Europeans are all about playing together and team. It's just showing off more, and he just made sure everybody, stayed on the same extra pass, play together and make it fun to where everybody got a chance to be involved. That's the thing. It wasn't just one person going one-on-one. It was like everyone probably touched the ball every play pretty much. If you ran at all, it was like, who's going to do this? You don't know. And it was just, he kept everyone accountable to stay in the plan. And obviously with Rick and his plan and system that he put in, it was like a dream scenarios, you know.
We always talk about, like, you know, when you do see these special teams and everything, why other people don't mirror that or even go back to that. In like today's league, you know, you don't see so many plays being run. You see freedom and actions, where there are definitely teams in this league that need some plays still, you know? And so I guess when you look at today's league and you look at like what you guys were able to accomplish together out there on the court, does it take a special person though, rather than, or is it coaching, like, or is it a Velade? Like, what is it?
It's probably a little bit of everything.
Okay.
I mean, the skill sets are a lot different. I mean, we run a lot more set plays. Like, just kind of seeing in college, we have, like, you know, 2-3 main sets, and then you break it down, and we don't want to call any of those even at the college level. We're like, just push the ball, hit ahead, you know, keep the spacing, and put the pressure on the team that way is kind of, you know, a big trend of it. So you got to have the plays, but there's just so much freedom now. It's like, you know, you can name a million players, like they get the ball one-on-one, you're like, go.
Yep.
Like, if you get it kicked ahead to you, you're at three-point line
Flex
with a
cut
live
through, let this
dribble,
guy-
and it's one-on-one.
Yep.
Like, you're like, why run a play? You're like, just attack. Like, you know, the individual skill sets are so good at that now.
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing with those Kings teams you're on, is like you guys just had that skill set too, where even if you're running plays, it did feel like there was so much, like you guys were improvising a little bit. And it's because the basketball IQ, I thought, with that group was just through the roof.
Well, yeah, I mean, in basics, like, you know, corner set, you throw it in, and it's like the guard's supposed to go down and pick. It's a call it corner down. I don't remember now, and then this guy would curl. But we might call that, but if this defender's playing this side, this guy's just going to go back doors because the defense, it doesn't matter what we called. So, yeah, that's how good we were. We didn't necessarily call. We just find a spot. We knew this was the offense. If they guard us this way, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
You know, that was the IQ of it. It wasn't real body. That's why it looked like freelance a little bit, but everyone knew their spots of what to do, and it was all, I mean, we'd play the guard spots, they'd play the big, you know, just so everybody knew what everyone's job was supposed to be if they do this. And, you know, we're trying to teach these guys to see that read now too.
Yeah.
Well, the guy, we say we want you to do this, but you see the guys here, so why don't you just go this way?
Don't you have that feel? Get that feel.
Yeah, and so
you talk about the situation working for you and everything, and obviously the style, but Rick Adelman having a lot to do with that. What made Rick Adelman a special coach?
I think just his calmness out there, and I mean, he put a lot of trust in his players. You know, we call it a players coach, but because he knew he could draw it up for us, but we'd have to make the adjustments on the fly, and that's where the trust level of teaching us all the scenarios, showing us, but then we, you know, just did it. You know, so it made it easy for him. He didn't have to yell like, "Oh, you threw a backdoor pass turnover," like. That's fine. You know, like the ways that we were aggressive a lot of times, like, was like, okay, you're putting the pressure on him, but, you know, he wasn't up your butt over the top, but, you know, he just put us in situations to be successful. And that's, you know, trying to figure that out is a big job as a coach. It's not only X and Y's and this, like,
for sure,
who can play with who, do they understand? And, you know, he was just a very good talent reader and finding that way.
Special coach. And I know, I mean, you were with him, Sacramento, Houston, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it just felt like no matter where he went, he got the most out of those groups. And I think that's like, I'm glad he finally got into the Hall of Fame because to me, he's one of the most underrated coaches ever. And it's, you know, he didn't win that championship, but man, he had to deal with Jordan's Bowls with Portland, right? Man. And then, you know, the Lakers.
Donahue.
Yeah, I mean.
Not the Lakers, just Donahue.
Yeah. Yeah, so like you have all that. It's like I'm glad he got the respect of that because it seems like anybody who has played for Rick just speaks so highly of like him as a coach and how he just got the most out of talent.
Yeah, like I said, when, you know, the greatest respect is when we're playing someone, they're calling the play sack.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's our play.
Wow.
Corner elbow, and they're calling it sack. Like, well, we better know how to guard this. You know what I hear? I remember Phoenix did it first, and I'm like, sack. And I'm like, we're like, this is what we practice against every day. So.
I talked to Steve Kerr, like, God, they were in town playing the Kings when they were in their like the highest of highs, you know. And I asked about Rick Adelman. He just talked about how much he was influenced by Rick and how they used a lot of the stuff with the Warriors too, with Steph and Clay and all those
Yeah,
guys.
the pistol corner stuff
Yeah.
is all, you know, stems a lot. Most of that stems from like the Adelman coaching style. Is really everybody runs it now still. So that's another sign like you did something that's translated 20 years later still. People are like, yeah, run that.
Yeah.
Did he ever have like a specific piece of advice that like sticks with you or anything?
No, not necessarily a single. Just as I say, Rick's a very quiet guy. And you just kind of get a smirk on him if you knew you were doing all right or something, or if you got messed up or something, he might just give you a look, you know. I mean, he was a man of not many words.
Yeah.
So it was just a lot of looks, and, you know, it was a crazy cool respect, you know, to just have him be like, you did this, you're good, or, you know, a little, you could give him a wink, you know, something subtle like that. That's what, you know, he wasn't over the top. He wasn't ever searching for the praise. He just wanted to be the best coach he could be. And, you know, it wasn't, he didn't care about himself. Just give me my navigator and I want to coach and get the best out of these guys.
You guys are obviously were connected on the court, but off the court too. And you said Vlade was a big reason for that. You got to give us like a good story from like the road back in the day about some funny moment or something.
He's like,
come on. I know
oh,
you have so many
he's
of them.
thinking of
There's
an
no
appropriate
social
one.
media then, so, you know, so whatever
Yeah.
it says, there's no evidence probably.
Yeah.
No
Oh my
evidence.
goodness. Can you imagine social media being
Oh,
around?
you would.
Oh, I know.
You couldn't do half the things.
No.
Do you have, and it's okay if it's a couple or if you can't name any, whatever, but like favorite teammates? And when I say favorite, that could be for anything, like whether it was just on the floor or who you're still connected with now.
I'd say a list of like, I mean, Bibby's my longest teammate I ever played with. So
Aw.
we have this bond of 4.5 years playing, and obviously we ran a lot of side pick and roll, high pick and roll
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
So whatever he's teaching now at Sac State, I'm like, yeah, that was me, and that would
Oh.
figure it out. Joe Kim Noah is like my oddball friend that I still, you know, met and played in Chicago and just hit it off like
Love.
complete polar opposites. But, you know, his work ethic was beyond anything I'd ever seen. You know, like he worked harder on just himself and mentally, physically, and wanted to win. He had a passion, a desire to be a winner. You know, 1-2 in Florida with the whole crew of Hortford. You know, he's still playing in the NBA like old guys. But, you know, Kirk Heinrich was one of my favorite, just all-American white boy. You know, we've gone hunting trips and stuff together like that. And, you know, that's kind of like my top big three of, I'd say, of teammates of different reasons
Yeah.
throughout the years.
That's a good little list.
It's a great list.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you talk about Mike, and now you mean Mike's the head coach of Sac State. Like, it's just funny how like life works. Before we get to Mike, actually, for you, you come to Sacramento, you're like, God, I've only been here a few times, blah, blah, blah. But Sacramento's like what your second home. I mean,
Damn near my first home,
Yeah.
basically. now,
yeah,
so.
but it's funny how a lot of you former Kings have like made Sacramento your home. What is it about the city for you that like forms such like a deep bond beyond just playing here?
I mean, for me, it's like country California, you know? So it's like I come from country, and it's like, you know, I've duck hunted out here, I've deer hunted, I've bear hunted in Cali, I fished in Cali, you know, all these pig hunted, like, you know, realizing like it's never going to snow in Sac. So that was a big benefit. Like,
Okay.
hey, hello, Tahoe.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can go up there if I
Yeah.
want.
Go when
Yeah,
you
I'll
need.
see an hour if I want, but
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Love
you
that.
know, so the parts of being cold in Indiana, you know, the California winters are much better than, we got like 6 inches of snow the other day again in Indiana at my place. Like,
Yeah.
I look at the cell cameras like,
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm here.
yeah. So, and, you know, just like my daughter was born out here.
Yeah.
I mean, Paige's kids were born out here. So it's just, you know, it's a very homey city too. And like I say, everyone talks about from Sacramento, you can do a 2-hour radius. That's why I tell everyone you can go ski, then you come down, play golf, and you go to the city and have dinner in a day. Just right down there.
Go to the ocean.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like the mix of everything you get. My wife now is from Roseville, so she obviously loves it here in North Cali. Hella good for her. So,
Yay.
so no, it's definitely been home. Like I said, I've lived here longer than I've lived in Indiana. So I'm over half my life
Wait, was she raised a Kings fan too?
Yeah.
Whoa.
She had my jersey.
And then she
when
married
was
a
young.
Kings player?
Yeah, met at a
Oh,
Kings game.
no.
That's seeing you at Kings game. I just feel like you live your best life. Your post-retirement life,
iconic.
like you have fun, dude. You enjoy life. It's like you're traveling all the time. You're having a good time. You're at games courtside.
You're at games courtside. Like, you're not just like there. You're like, no, get up on your feet,
I'm
people.
one of
Let's
you
go.
guys.
I know. I mean, like that playoff game series against the Warriors. I mean, I think I went to Punch Bowl 3-4 hours before game one. I'm like, I want the whole experience from the fan. Like I didn't get the experience, as that side of it. And I mean, it was nuts. They had light the beam shots.
Yeah.
Any Warriors fan that came in were like, boo, boo them. I was like, yeah, that's like, there's a pride of, I've never won a championship. I won Big Ten, but when you think of I got 2 bronzes, world champs never got that gold, and that's kind of, Sacramento is like that, has kind of that same chip. You never really won that big one that can peacock totally about. Like we were there, and so, I feel like I fit in, with the people of Sac. Like, a lot of good friends I met out here once I got out here that I would have never met in my life. So, and it's very comfortable. And I say, I got to have fun in life. Like, life's too short, and, you got to keep it positive. I go in practice, always like, Michael Bibby's like, why you just here to fist bump? I'm like, yeah, it's a good day, like, have a little quote. I'm like, what day is it? And they're like, what? I'm like, it's game day.
Yeah.
I'm like, have some fun. And they're like, you're just a hype man. I'm like, well, I try to keep a positive attitude because life can end at any point, and
You're right.
why be a sour little gut over it? And
Everyone needs a Brad Miller in their life. Like, my God.
You have to remember it's a child's game too. It's supposed to be fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and when you're winning, it's fun, but like the process is supposed to be fun. It's very serious. I understand it's a big business, but it's like it's a beautiful game.
yeah, and you get paid. These guys getting paid to play basketball. You're getting paid to go watch them play basketball. Like, shoot, life could be a lot worse. Like this is just right now what's going on. Like it's a process.
Hey, I want to go back to one thing you were talking about, that playoff game a few years back.
When he was booing the Warriors fans,
I'll never forget it because, it was obviously like the playoff drought was so long, but we're talking like inside the building, like 45 minutes before the game, everyone in their seats.
In their seats.
Dude.
Yeah, when they came out for their first warm-up, it was like...
Do you have chills?
You could see the guys like...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was like... Yeah, it was awesome. Like, ooh, that was a good one.
Some of those guys still talk about, like, they don't ever remember hearing any arena being that loud, ever, when they came out.
There's no way. Like, it was packed, and it was full send. Like, it was nuts. It was well worth the experience for sure.
It was a fun time. Hopefully we get back there. Let's talk about the Sac State thing now, because you're talking about Mike Bibby. I mean, you find out he gets the Sac State job. Now you're involved too. Were you surprised that he wanted to go the coaching route? Did you know, like, when he was in his playing days, like, oh, he could be a coach?
No, I mean, it's a family DNA of him.
Yep.
His dad was coach forever, and, he'd been coaching at Shadow Mountain, which is a major powerhouse in Phoenix, winning championships and state tournaments, and, he's been coaching. And I know he's been sniffing around, like, trying to get the Kings, and, I was always joking, like, Mike, you're going to have to live in Sac. You can't commute from Phoenix.
Yes.
If you want to coach in Sac. That was always my joke. I don't know. It's probably been about 5 years ago when that kind of came up. So I've known he's always wanted to coach. I mean, he almost worked with Ty Ellis down in Stockton a few years ago and got him. He got real close. But I was like, Sacramento, like Sac State, like I've never been on the campus of Sac State, and I've been here 25 years till this year. I'm like, where is this? Like, honestly, But, it's to get a Division I job, I mean, it's been a crazy year. Like, talking about NIL, salary caps, and money and this.
Learning a lot.
Players and grades, and we switched from Adidas. Mike's like, we're going Nike.
Jordan? Is it Jordan or Nike?
We couldn't get Jordan. But we
Close enough.
Yeah, we got to go to Nike at least, but it's been like a whole process the whole year of just, it's like building a program. Like, I know how passionate Sacramento fans are with the Kings. I'm like, why can't we need 2,000 or 3,000 to come to a Sac State game to get that enjoyment and get that environment? So, on the court there's coaching, but we're also trying to build a culture over there of like, make it entertaining, get the band there, get the students there, make this college environment. People are like, man, it's been a lot of fun going to Sac State games over a Kings game. I'm like, cool, come on again. I'm like, we only got a couple. We're like, come on, like we want that excitement. We're trying to build, build a whole culture from really they didn't have any traditions of basketball at that school. That's what I found out. So, Dr. Wood's been phenomenal of the growth he's trying to make we're expanding like no other. So there's like so much great future stuff now with this momentum for the whole city is going to be tied in with things that are going in at Sac State now. So
there's so much to it though. And I'm sure like you already knew this, but like being in it, how hard is it being patient as you see things grow on the court, off the court, and everything else?
It's just a learning curve. You're trying, like everything that's happened there this year, we've all trying to bank it all and, get ready to make sure this don't happen next year. We know what we need to change for next year. And 15 new players. Next year we'll have a couple guys coming back that have been around us at least. So, we'll be able to start building off that and, get that loyalty of fans like, oh, this guy's coming back. Cool. Like, so there's just a lot to this college game than there ever was before. And like I say, Sky River is going to be a big help promoter of facilities, and the whole city's got huge plans. So we're, like I say, there's a lot of excitement of future plans that are already starting in motion now that people don't even know about, and they only know about some. So it's a good time. I think we're really trying to build some.
Does Mike Bibby yell at people?
Oh yeah.
I can't picture him yet. Like we got closer with him obviously after doing NBC Sports California with the broadcast and everything. And I wasn't expecting him to be who he is. He's like the nicest guy. And I was just so sick because he's just like this big guy, bulky, all these muscles. And then he's like, I am the Jolly Green Giant. Like, I'm just really sweet. So I can't really picture him yelling at anyone at practice. Okay. Copy that. Coach Mike, Mike Bibby. Got it.
There's me talking like this or me talking to one of the coaches during the game about what's going on in the game. Yeah. So it's a different intensity.
So yeah, what's your goal with all this? Like, what do you want to do long term in your post-retirement life? Because we talk about the fun you have, but now you're involved with Sac State too. Like, what do you want to do?
Just a couple of years ago, actually, the Kings playoff run is what finally wanted me to get back into basketball. Like,
that's cool.
The excitement of seeing where the team had been and the city been, and then to make that big jump was like, dude, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this type of excitement and everything. So that's kind of when my brain, I want mentally to be ready to give the time. And it takes a lot more time as a coach and a player. That's why I was like, ooh, no coaching. That's like twice as much time, way more stressful, no money compared to being a player.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of negatives here in my life to go enjoy things. So like, this has been a great learning curve of, it's 6-7 days a week now. During the season, and wife's like, "You going to practice?" I'm like, "Yeah, we got practice. 6 days a week at least. We got games or practice. Like, this is a normal basketball schedule."
You're still making it to Kings games, by the way, in a season that's like has been very challenging. Like,
there's
you're
still
doing
Kings
it all.
games. We got to see the beam from my condo. We won, and I'm like, "Where's the beam?" And then they turn it on. So the city, what they're doing, and you still always want them to win games, as long as they're playing hard, and which they are. They're out there trying to compete with what the guys they have.
What's your perspective on the two rookie bigs? I guess Cardwell and Areno. Let's start with Cardwell. I love his energy, dude.
Oh yeah, I was a big fan. Like the few days I was in there early, I was like, you should just run as fast as you can and be at the rim, catch lobs, and try to block everything. I go, it's a skill set to play hard. And like when he started playing, I was like, dude, he heard that. Like, he's like, that's what I saw his role could be, exactly what he's doing.
He takes in information and like uses it game by game.
He's not trying to do too much out there. Obviously all these fouls they get is because he's a rookie and he's just excited. But I go, you see the hustle, we have the Keegan Murray chant. You got Dylan, getting everyone going. Like, that's what, Scott's really got a heck of a job. That's one piece that, seems like should be fitting good on a team, and you're like, yes, like, and hustle, athletic, big, that, so, it's a process of I'm happy with his progress so far, and obviously Max is doing good too. Like he's the more skilled of the two, so it's a great contrast that you don't get many times. You get two big guys, that can actually look like they know how to play in the NBA. You're like, all right, take their lumps.
Yeah.
This year, rookies don't get no calls. I know that for a fact.
Nope.
So I remember that. So it's been it's been a bright thing. Definitely to see of the rosters, those two big guys as the big guy. That's why I wanted to come out here. I was like, I'll work with those two big guys. Like they seem like right up my alley. One's the energy, one's a skill player. So they're developing well. And like I said, there's going to be lumps, and take them now and learn from them.
Yeah, Max's offensive skill is really nice. You see the flashes, and I'm like, if he gets a little more comfortable taking threes too, I mean, he could attack closeouts. I feel like he's always in the right spot.
His
the
footwork.
rebounding's gotten better.
Yeah.
I feel like you're seeing the growth out of him too, where early on you're like, oh, like I just saw Steven Adams break him down and blow by him.
Well,
but,
yeah.
but guess what? Those mistakes are happening. Like the other night, he's going up against Victor. I'm like, he did pretty well.
He had a
against
nice little
Victor.
step through.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, he's learning how to play this game. Like I say, I liked him being a 4-year player. So it's like nowadays, the knock I played for, and they're like, oh, you're tapped out, Well, at least that's not the cause now. Like now you're going to have 4-year players come to the league that are ready to play NBA ball instead of, and they probably got more in their bag because they're staying in college, getting some NIL, and it's not as big of a, oh, you're a project or, you're a little more established as
matured
a man, too.
a little bit more.
Mature now. So, we got mature guys on the team as rookies this year. So, that goes a long way, I think, down the road.
Who are guys around the league that you love watching in today's game?
I mean, Victor's pretty fun to watch him dunk on everybody and just not even have to get on his tiptoes.
I mean, what do? You talk about getting blocked by Alonzo Mourning. He had a play last night where he baited someone into blocking his shot.
I've never seen someone where it was even last year. It was like a 3-on-1 and the guy pulled out. Like he was like, nope, kicked it out to this guy and he faked the shot. Like Victor came out like, there's not. What do you do?
Yeah,
I'm so glad. Those guys aren't around when I played. That's for dang sure. I thought Giannis was going to be a problem to score. Now you got Victor coming out there, and
pretty special.
Yeah, it's just a different level right there.
What about Jokic? I feel like you'd be a big Jokic guy.
Obviously, that's too easy. That's standard.
Okay.
Denver can pass.
Adelman.
David
David
Adelman.
I was trying to go there to help him out too. I told him, Minnesota, if you get a job, I'll come out of doing nothing and try to help you with the bigs or something. So yeah.
Dude, I love your passion for Sacramento. As someone born and raised here, I loved watching you play. You always had just good energy too. You had fun out there.
And he still has the energy and the joy and the passion.
Yeah, I don't have to be as angry now. That was on the court. I don't have to do the angry personality as much. Emotional, angry.
Yeah, but
charged up.
I just felt like you had your emotions on your sleeve because it was a passion. Though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I didn't feel like it was like you were a hothead.
You're like a big old teddy bear.
It's a privilege. It's a privilege to be able to play NBA, and I wanted to respect the game by playing as hard as I could, and that was drink a lot of coffee or Red Bull or any caffeine and go out there and just give it 48 minutes of
Is that
crazy.
What you do?
Yeah,
coffee before a game?
Yeah. Oh, God.
Really?
What was your pregame drink or meal or whatever?
I always ate breakfast food 5 hours before.
Really?
So pancakes, sausage, All-American Slam at Denny's.
Okay. And coffee? Just black?
Pounding coffee.
Before a basketball game?
Give him the energy that he needs.
Red Bull, coffee, Vibrant.
It worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
That's why I didn't go to sleep till 4 or 5 at night.
Yeah.
Don't
You
do
know
that
what to do. No.
No, but we appreciate you taking the time to hang out and chat with us and keep doing your thing.
We love
seeing
having you around.
I was actually picking up food the other day. It wasn't the other day. It was like a month ago. I saw you walking into like a Wingstop picking up food or something.
Probably Fire Wings.
That's what it was.
Right.
My bad.
Get it right.
It was in Midtown. Yeah.
Definitely Fire Wings.
Yeah.
Just our,
Blazing
our
Curry, the
Sacramentan.
Cali Road. Ooh.
Well, bro, we
Some
appreciate
good
you.
ones.
Thank you so much,
That's
Brad.
the one and only Brad Miller.